viewers, in a tragic incident, nearly 100 people have lost their lives at a stampede. There are mostly women among the dead. There are several others who are injured and have been shifted to the government hospital. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has ordered a high-level inquiry into this. He is directly monitoring the situation and will also be visiting the incident site tomorrow. Initial findings suggest that this private event was organized by a self-proclaimed godman and all the details will come out as the probe goes on. Sanju Verma stays on, so does Suhail Seth, Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, Samir Singh and Lokesh Jindal. Now, Samir Singh, there is politics already at play. Akhilesh Yadav has blamed the government.
Pranesh, first of all, I'd like to convey my deepest condolences to all the devotees that were there who lost their lives and to the bereaved. And I pray that the people who are injured, they get well soon, they get well really soon. Now, coming back to your question, Pranesh, I think it is very clear what our national president, Honorable Akhilesh Yadav said, that the onus is on the government, because I'm pretty sure that all my panelists would agree, and along with you and all the viewers of Time would agree that such an event, to hold a private event of such magnitude, requires a lot of clearances from the local administration. Everything and every SOP is in place. It's not like the SOP is different. Yes, they do in certain cases, but for a private event, the SOP
Okay, state must answer for the lapses. Sanju Verma.
From the local Thana to the district administration.
Right, your point taken. Let's get a response.
Every clearances are required.
Pranesh, may I make my point?
Are supposed to be there. So what I'm saying is that we completely...
No, we get the point. She's answering on the question. You want the state to own up for lapses and be accountable for the lives lost. Sanju Verma.
You know, Pranesh, first and foremost, my heart goes out to the 100-odd people who've lost their lives in this horrifying tragedy. I believe there are some 200 people who are injured grievously. But, you know, for whatever comfort this may be to the kith and kin of those who lost their lives, Prime Minister Modi today on the floor of the House said that he's completely seized of the situation. He's seized of the facts. Yogi Adityanath has already formed a high-powered committee to ensure, that we get to the bottom of this, because there are a few questions which are still open-ended. I am told before coming on your debate, I, called up a few people within Uttar Pradesh who are, involved with the SOP for these type of events. The SOP was in place, protocol was in place, ambulances were ready, police constabulary was there. So why did this unfortunate tragedy occur? I don't think on a television debate, within a couple of hours of the horrifying incident happening, we can pinpoint ki ye hua tha. We need to come together as civilians and ensure that this does not get repeated. We need to ensure that if there have been lapses from bureaucrats or from even ministers who need to be, doing their job,
right.
Let there be accountability, let there be transparency, let us not shove uncomfortable truths under the carpet. But I just want to say one thing. You are free to ask the Modi government about Hathras, about today's tragedy, about today's stampede. You are free to ask the Modi government about Manipur. But the very lot that questions Modi on Hathras, that questions Yogi Adityanath on Hathras, that questions us repeatedly on Manipur, this is the same lot which has not once condemned the fact that more than 65 people lost their lives in the illicit hooch tragedy in Tamil Nadu, and the number of dead people is only rising by the hour, but there is absolutely deafening silence from the opposition.
Lokesh is responding.
I abhor this hypocrisy and I condemn this hypocrisy.
We need to understand something. We are talking about Uttar Pradesh, where we have Allahabad festival, the Kumbh Mela. So religious crowd handling comes within the ambit of District Disaster Management Agency. And SDMA, which is the nodal agency, is chaired by the Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath himself. Ma'am, please don't indulge into Lawa Baji over here. No, this is Lawa Baji.
No, Lokesh, 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll tell you. Now you tell me, is that not a legitimate question to ask? Do you know the number of debates we've done on the Hooch tragedy? What was the response from mainstream political leaders today? No, I am not. I am only asking you that, look, this people have died. The politicians, for them, this is another instance, one event.
Crowd management.
Who will answer the families? This is not about crowd management.
Pranesh, crowd management for religious festivals, mitigation of disaster comes within the ambit of district administration.
Lokesh, all fair points. Ask those questions. Ask those questions. We began by asking those questions.
That's what we are asking. Pranesh, don't you think over here Yogi Adityanath needs to reply? He needs to resign as the Minister of Home because it was under his ministership that a severe lapse in administration.
Okay, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath needs to resign. Suhail said. But Chief Minister Stalin will not go.
See, I have a couple of things to say which should become the leitmotif of our country going forward. An accident is precisely that. It's an accident. It is a humongous tragedy. Lokesh is right. It's someone's failure. But this habit of political vulturism must stop. The moment an accident happens, the focus is on hanging someone rather than A, providing relief, B, launching a proper investigation, not one that, glosses over the issues. Number 3, telling the people what went wrong and how we're going to make sure it doesn't happen in the future. This vulturism over deaths, whether it is a huge tragedy in Tamil Nadu or Hathras, has to stop. No government goes out of its way to ensure that a tragedy happens because the government gets onto the mat. The government has mud on its face. So Yogi Adityanath is not doing this on purpose. Plus, you can be rest assured that 107 lives that are lost are precious lives. One life is a precious life. Every time a rail accident happens, hang the railway minister. What is going on in this country? What is going on in terms of investigating? What are the SOPs that have been violated? Will someone not tell us? Lokesh talked about an SOP and Pranesh talked about an SOP. If those SOPs have been violated, then have deterrent punishment. You know what happens in our country? We blame the government gets on the offensive, but dusre prant mein bhi hua tha, the matter is forgotten. Bernard Shaw famously said, when whales fight, shrimps are eaten. We are the shrimps, the citizen. Because we have created a culture of vulturism, where we want to attack people rather than get to the bottom of the solution.
Let's fix accountability. Let's not indulge in blame game. Abhijit Iyer-Mitra, if there are lapses, take action against the administration or the minister involved, do whatever. But this, whataboutery is such a letdown for people, even those who are watching our broadcast right now.
Absolutely, Pranesh. Look, the thing here is very clear. What our friend just brought up was that, if Lokesh is right, the department comes under the Chief Minister. But let's not forget prohibition, excise and home comes under Muka Stalin. Okay. So there is enough to go around for everybody. Here we are starting the blame game even before we know what happened. One report I said somebody screamed bomb. One report says something else. What we know so far is 40 cops were allocated to this particular satsang. Now, nothing has ever happened to this satsang before. All things normal. I think if you get a stampede dynamics expert out here, there are many documentaries on this as well. If you don't want to read serious journal articles on this, a stampede can happen absolutely anywhere in a localized unit, even with top-notch management. Okay? Because the point of a stampede is localized panic. People don't know where to go. This was, if you look at the visuals coming out of there, it was an open area. So we don't even know where exactly the stampede happened out here. There are elements to this which can be prognosticated and dealt with. There are elements to this that cannot be prognosticated and dealt with.
Right.
You have to wait for the investigation to come out.
Okay. Now, Sanju Verma, you asked Lokesh Jindal on the Hooch tragedy and the hypocrisy therein. He hasn't answered it. But I don't want to, get into the blame game. I want to ask you, will accountability be fixed? Will you set an example and tell them, look, this is how things are done? What you failed to do in Tamil Nadu, we've done it in UP to ensure justice to the victims.
I'll be very honest. I'll tell you where the BJP is different from the opposition. I have been on debates pertaining to NEET, and I have categorically said, irrespective of being the national spokesperson of BJP, could we have acted faster? Could we have acted sooner? Yes. Did heads roll? Yes. The NTA head was replaced by the new incumbent Pradeep Singh Kharola. More than 37 arrests have been made. But this is the same Congress party which introduced NEET in 2010, had the first NEET exam in 2013, which was revoked by the Supreme Court, but I never find a mention of that. So unlike the Congress, which has this habit of trying to shove things under the carpet, BJP says yes, a problem has occurred. Could this problem have been averted? Perhaps, possibly yes. Should heads roll and accountability be ensured? Certainly yes. So I think what a sensitive government does is that it pinpoints and fixes accountability. And what an insensitive government does is it wants to scalp heads. It searches for scapegoats.
Let's see
is not searching for
what action is taken when accountability is fixed and what example is set, and all this should be done only to ensure justice for the 116. That's the death toll this minute, viewers, in Hathras. But I also want to say that lives lost in Hathras are just as important as the 65 who died in Kallaraturuchi in Tamil Nadu. All lives matter, and they matter equally. I thank all of you for joining us. Our condolences to the bereaved families. Thanks for watching. Navika Kumar with the News Hour on the other side.